This is the welder I got, I don't know, 5 or 6 months ago. I had a 20% off any one item at the Bahaba Freight, and so I picked this guy up. It kind of had good reviews. It was affordable, better, probably better, more advanced than the skills I have for welding. You know, I've had this MIG, excuse me, had that for like a lot of years. It's a Craftsman, and it's worked fine for me. I mean, I'm not welding every day though, you know, I don't weld all that often. I have a Hobart stick welder, because that's what I kind of grew up on, was welding stick. And I did find out having a hood mask that properly tints and then, you know, automatic, and you can improves your quality 100-fold. It's my nephew's. That's a Miller over there in the corner. Just kind of keep it tucked away. There's a plasma cutter over there as well. But anyway, and then I have an oxy setup here as well. So I've got all kinds of stuff. But this thing does MIG, TIG, and stick. I've done MIG, I've done stick, I've never done any TIGging. So I'm hoping that this will allow me to do that. So what I'm gonna do is, right now, because I wind up doing some welding out here on things, I'm gonna leave that machine on a flux core wire so I can weld outside, because I fabricated up an extra long grounding strap, and I bought the extra long electrode lead cord, you know, so that I can set up here and actually reach out there and do some welding. So I think that's how I'm going to leave that, and then I can move that gas onto this, and I can use this for shielded MIG and for the TIG. And I'll probably just keep the Hobart set up for stick welding, but this could do all three. So eventually, maybe that's what I'll consolidate down to if we move and ever get off this God's forsaken property. I'll only need the one welder and won't need those others. But I haven't even set it up. The stuff's been around here for a number of months. Still have everything in the boxes. So that's what I'm going to do, is open up stuff and check it out. Check it out, as my friends up north say. So this is the stick attachment that comes with it. Doesn't seem like it's, you know, I think it'll get you welding, is what I think. Hold on here, what the hell? There. It's falling apart. So this, I think, just plugs in. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I said, don't get wise with me, Bubble Eyes. I'll cut you down to peanut size. Yep. That looks like it just kind of plugs in down there. That's what that looks like. I'll have to do a different video actually turning it on and trying to figure out how to use it. Alright, let's get this other box here. Actually, I will say it's a pretty long cord. You know? I think that's pretty healthy. That's a pretty healthy cord. I'm over 6, so it's probably a 10-foot cord. That's workable. That's workable. Let's see what's in these other boxes. Grounding clamp strap. Let's see how this one goes. Looks like it's probably about the same length, I think. It's nice having stuff that's long, especially for me when I gotta reach around or reach out and do stuff. Rarely am I like right up next to the machine. I don't, kind of just a cheapie. Nice strapping in there though, I'll say that. Typical clamp though, kind of just stamped steel. Looks to be about the same length of cord, maybe? No, a little shorter. Yeah, this is what, maybe an 8-foot cord. So the ground looks to be about 8 foot long. The stick welding lead looks to be about 10 feet. Alright, so that's that. Let's check out this other box. Boxes within a box. The regulator. Argon CO2 regulator. Let's see what we got here for. Trying to see if it says who or what it's from. Again, I'm sure it'll get you working. I'm not sure I want to hook that up. It's a flat. I don't have a cart for this one. I've got that one on a cart. And I got the Hobart on a cart, but I think I need a cart for the bottle. So what I might do is take that welder off the cart, since I'm just going to use it for outdoor flux core non-gas shielded welding, and put this one on that cart. Just to be able to deal with the bottle. I'll figure it out one way or the other. So that's the regulator. Regulators mill up. This looks like the wah-wah pedal. And if you're from the Northeast, that's not wah wah, wah wah, wah wah pedal. Yep, that's the wah wah pedal. Alright. Looks like that goes in the center. And the center down there. I can't see it. You're pointing all over the place, people. Right on. Okay. Then we have another box of goodies. And here, box of goodies. Sheet metal gauge. Huh. Cool. Okay. Well, that's kind of handy to have. I'll admit that. I will admit to that. Bottle for the bottle. Plug. That looks like for like 110. And that looks like a plug for 220. And I got both. It's kind of handy though. And this looks like the Tigger. I've never done any tigging. So I don't know tips, what's good, what's bad, what to use, how big, how small. I don't know anything about it, but I guess I'll have to get online and listen up to some folks. Interesting. But what I don't see is MIG. Stick. TIG. I thought this thing did all three. I guess I stand corrected. Yeah, because where would you put the wire? Interesting. Well, maybe my idea is not gonna work out. I may have to leave that one then on the cart to use it for MIG, be it shielded or gas shielded or flux core, and use this just for the TIG. I swore this did all three. Maybe I was thinking about one that does all three and it was a little bit more expensive, and I figured since I already had a MIG welder, I don't know. I kinda now have bamboozled myself, I think. What was I thinking? So I will need to get a cart for this one, and then we will fire it up. Gotta get a bottle filled. Well, I was thinking I could just fire it up and do some, just run a practice run of MIG. But can't do that. I could do a stick. I'll do that at a later time. Well, anyway, that is what I got. And I retract my statement that it does all three. It does two of the three. Huh. Well, go figure. Alright. So much for that. Well, even looking at the manual, right, it tells you it's a TIG and a stick. No MIG. I don't know where I thought that, but anyway, it's all good. I'm gonna measure this to see if I can get a cart. So I need to leave gas on that one, and this will need gas. But I think the gas is the argon's a little different than tigging than MIGging, so I'll have to deal with that. Interesting. And now it's all dry out, but it's kind of late and I don't feel like starting to sandblast, being that it's almost 4 o'clock. Not gonna start it. Alright, well, that kind of puts an end to my welder stuff. We'll fire it up later. I'm gonna wrap those up. I gotta order some clamps. That's for the cover for the control board for the Genie. I dream of Genie with the light brown, with the light blue hair. The rotator for the Genie, slave cylinder for the Genie. Those are going on shortly with the basket. I got my air thing put back together with anti-seize all over me. Oh, you know what I can do? I need to put a wire wheel on my grinder over there and replace the fine wheel with a new one. That I think I can do now. Alright, let me do that. I'm gonna put, I know which wire wheel I want, that one or this one. But that's 150 grit wheel, that's gonna go on. There's some of the Craftsman doohickeys I got. How cool is that? Not that. That's for the wire. That's a dresser, wheel dresser. And I got this, which is magnetic for like screwdrivers or whatever. It was pretty cheap. I really didn't need another hammer, but I got such a good deal on this guy. It was like 10 bucks and they're like 25 or something. So I don't really have a good ball peen hammer. So I scored that. And then I also scored these. I still have another box of stuff coming. I did score these. I mean, I've got, you know, I got stuff, but I just didn't have these kind. And besides, the price was good again, so I figured, well, no better time than the present to get them at a good deal. Alright, well, I'm going to put these guys on my grinder, or one of these guys, and go from there. Alright, well, while the basket work on the jean continues, I'm gonna take this thing out and see just what the assembly is like on it, so I can put my TIG and stick welder on it. Not TIG, MIG, and stick, just TIG and stick. Yeah, okay. Got good reviews. Funny thing is, it's, you know, we know what Harbor Freight and what Amazon is about, but this is on Amazon. This exact. Never seen Harbor Freight stuff on Amazon, but it was 169 bucks on Amazon and 109 at the Bahaba Mother store here. So 109 bucks for a cart. I'll do that. Welding cart. There's the start of it. Yeah, seems all right. 100 bucks, 120 bucks. It'll probably do the trick for me. Still got, you know, obviously stuff to go, but so far so goody, so easily. Ding dang dong, ding dang dong, ding dang dong, ding dong, ding dang. So anyway, that's it for now. Peace. Ciao. All right. The Bahaba Freight Vulcan cart. What is it, a 300 pound? 350 pound cart. Yeah, 350. It's like 120 bucks. So put it together, and those are the only tools I really used. So kind of what I liked about it is that the hardware came in this like little parts box, which is a whole lot better than those vacuum sealed cardboard things that are a pain in the ass to all of us as we know them. So this worked out, and actually have a little something there to put crap in. They're not very generous with their hardware. The bolts are down to the actual bolts required, and the flat washers, there are no extra flat washers. There's a few extra lock washers, But anyway, they give you what you're supposed to have, that's for sure. I don't know. What I do is, especially on this stuff that's on tubes. The other that I was going to say is I like is they either welded nuts on the back side or they have riv nuts in them. So you don't have to deal a lot with nuts. It's just the bolts and the washers. So that's kind of nice. And then what I do, just myself, is, you know, this tubing stuff, it's not the thickest wall tubing, right? We all know that. But I don't run the bolts down so hard that it deforms the tubes. I run the stuff down just to where it starts putting pressure on the tube and pushing it in, so it leaves some spring strength to the tube, so the tube is actually pushing back on it a little bit as well. So rather than just crush it and deform it, this way it leaves a little bit of spring. Hey, bud. So it leaves a little bit of springiness to lock it in. So that's that. I'm going to put that on here, and that will be the end of it. It's up and going in. Alright, there it is. Put together, welder on it. So my other stuff, other welders, stuff back there, settling under there. There we go. That is a Harbor Freight Special Welder and Cart. Go look at that. 100% argon. And there we go. So I like the cart. For 120 bucks, you gotta put it together. It's not the thickest of all tubing, but it has hooks. It was cheap, inexpensive. It's holding that tank so far. Welders on there so far, and call it good. All right, shutting it down for that.